I mean, that's selective.
Right.
And again, that's your right to be selective
Right.
and do whatever you decide you want to do, and I'm being selective and doing
Right.
what I feel is necessary for me. For me.
Right. Right.
Again, for
Your
me.
truth. Right.
Because it was only a few years ago they just started letting black quarterbacks start being quarterback because they felt like they were too dumb to read defenses, and the NFL just started getting integrated in the 60s. So I don't think it's really been a very long time to where, okay, here y'all go, here you are, but this is how we're gonna treat you, while you're here. The mind, you can never change the mind or the heart of man. How some people, and I'm not calling out everybody, I'm just saying that what I see. Right. And when you see something, you can't unsee it. Right.
Right.
You get to play on words about diversity and love and unity. And them all just play on words because if you see something different. Right. OK, prime example. They call glasses what? Corrective lenses. So if I have on glasses and wear them for a little while, then I shouldn't need them after a while. Right.
Right.
If they're going to correct my vision, I shouldn't need them forever. Right. So we're talking about, if we're talking about unity, we're talking about diversity, we're talking about love, we're talking about freedom, we're talking about passion, we're talking about humanity, then we should see some of that, right?
Right.
We should see some of that. Versus those that do decide to speak on that, we're going to just kill them. We're going to just take them out.
Right.
We just gonna stop that. Okay, you got over in Oklahoma, right? Okay, you know what? We don't want y'all over here. Okay, leave little Africa alone then, if y'all don't want them over there. Okay, and so it's just, if you don't want to be bothered, then be all the way not bothered, right? Don't just be sometime bothered for the benefit of being bothered. So, because to me, I'm looking at it as that you're just tolerating me. You don't really love me.
Right.
You don't really care about me. I'm your hero, but at the same time, I don't like you. I can't stand you. Right?
Right. And like you say, really, to be honest, bro, just how I see it, I say a lot of it is business. You know what I mean?
It's all business.
A lot of times, it's business, and a lot of times we get it twisted. Even with the LeBron James, the LeBron James, the LeBron James move. You see, he was, I understand sometimes people, are real passionate about how they feel about, a player playing for a certain team and whatnot. But look how they was talking to that man. They was like, we hate him. Some people were saying they hate him. They hope he burn in hell and everything. When he left Cleveland.
But people game though, bro. If I say that, right? If I say that about you right now, okay, I hate you. There. At what point in time do I change my mind and say, "Nah, I don't really mean that"? I said
right.
I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I meant it. If I said it, right?
And that's my point. So that was debatable too, because some people say you should have stayed with this team and all this and that, like other players. To me, it's a different time. And if it's business and we're not friends, don't I have a right to make a business decision that I think is best for me? When I see things, and people do it all the time in other business aspects, whether you want to sell your business, you want to move on to other businesses. But it seems like it's biasness, and especially, let's keep it real, especially towards the African Americans, because that's who mostly compromise. As you were saying, the 70%, even with the sports, especially the athletes, that's who was out there playing. So, but see, when he went back and won that championship that year, it was all good then. So that kind of tying into what you were saying earlier. And I wanted to also make a point. Like you saying, like the N word, end run.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually was stated on a Monday Night Football, and this announcer got fired for that. So it's not like what you were saying is far-fetched.
Right.
Like that literally happened.
Right.
And he said, look at that end run or monkey run. It's one of them. But either one of them is still derogatory. That's what we was always kind of, the stepping Fletcher, and, we was kind of associated with You know how they eating the watermelon real fast, and you know, monkeys,
sports,
you know,
entertainment,
and all this. So
and
so
pleasure.
that's what you're saying. So it is, man, and people can try to deny this stuff, you know, but if it's not true, then if this system is not true, then why do we have a majority owners are white? And this just facts. You know how many black owners you know?
There aren't any majority owners of
I'm sure it was is some brothers, you know, trying to get in. You don't think they trying to get in? But see, it's probably a buddy system too. So it's certain hoops and hurdles, like you say. It hasn't been that long ago that you actually had black quarterbacks. You had a few of them, Warren Moon, way back, Randall Cunningham. I remember, bro, I watched sports. But they never was taken as seriously as a white quarterback. And then when they did put the light on them, they always compared, well, you know, he really can't throw or whatever. He can run, though. This is facts.
They want to make them wide receivers real quick.
You know, so, you know, then they got some black coaches and stuff. But how many black owners you got? Football been around a while. How many black owners you got for basketball? Owners. You know what I mean? So, again, that should bring up reminiscence of slavery again. You know, we just out here working, and, you know, like the video, the $40 million.
$40 million slave.
Athlete,
you saw that?
Slave.
It's good.
Right. You know, you sent me that, and I was like Larry Johnson, too. I know about him, bro. He's from Dallas, and, you know, and somebody shouted that out. So that stuck out in somebody's mind. So, because a slave is a slave, whether you got this amount of money, but if somebody putting you in a subservient situation and treating you less than, then you still a slave. Whether you got this money or you have less than. So, you know, let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? And not afraid to say it. You know, it's just an opinion, and from what I see, some of it can be altered, some of it can't.
The comments and concerns expressed on Think About It Radio are that of the host of the show of Straight from the Streets, and also the guest, Mr. B. Whiting of B's Moving Company. These are not testimonials. These are not ways of trying to make you guys think a certain way. This is all about just making you guys. Yeah, it is about making you think a certain way. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. It is making you think a certain way. And so that's the whole goal of this thing. We're not knocking anybody for doing what they do and how they do. What we want us all to do is just continue to use that mind, that God-given mind that we have, man, to just think. Think about all these things and then look at what you look. Just look. Just look at what's happening right now. Just look up from your phone, from your tablet, from your computer, from your television. Just look up and just pay attention right now. And what do you see? How do you feel? Right. What are you constantly getting bombarded with? What are you constantly seeing? What are you constantly feeling? How are you constantly feeling? Take away those distractions. Take away all that other stuff that's telling you what to think and how to think. Start really connecting to that source spiritually. Connecting to that source. Really know where you are and what you're doing in this thing. Nothing else getting in your way. Connect to that and just really start paying attention, and then you will understand why I speak the way I speak. Mr. Whiting speaks the way he speaks. Mr. Booker speaks the way he speaks, because once you start seeing certain things, you can't help but respond to them a certain way as individuals.
And I want to say this too, bro, just to, you know, kind of, because, you know, we're on this subject. I think it's very important. Everybody should, you know, use their own mind, you know, and sometimes it's going to be considered going against the grain. We do this even when, you know, we start having growing pains, you know, as we growing into puberty, even with our parents, you know, so this stuff is ongoing all the time. But, you know, when you taking a stand like this, and it's involving your livelihood, because it's just like you know, your career. You know, if you go to your job, or you have a career, you got to be very wise. You should be very wise before and how you speak out and do things, because it's going to affect you in some way, in some form or fashion. And everybody that say they're down with you is not going to be down with you. Some people are going to be bandwagon. When that pressure get on, the conquer and divide thing. And, people start talking about you losing your money and your job, and it's affecting you. Then, your family and all that. See, that's that scare tactic. So you got to be real. You got to be real strong in what you're saying and be prepared. So, make sure you got some money put up.
Yeah.
Make sure, before you make these decisions, just like quitting a job, some people do step out on faith. But sometimes, it's good to have something else already, prepared before you make that change. And so I see with this brother, and like I say, look at history again. Muhammad Ali went through this. You know what I mean? And they hated him. Now all of a sudden they say they love him, but they hated him. They stripped him of his title. You know what I mean? Sent him to prison. Because the drafting, he said he stood on what he believed in, strong conviction. He say those Viet Congs ain't never did anything to me. And they weren't trying to hear that about him, not going to draft. And that cost him a lot too. It cost him his belt. Of course, he went through them phases. Did he make the right decisions? A lot of people didn't support him. When he was going through that, people he probably gave money to and everything. So you be for that too. And I bet you that young brother kind of feeling that sting right now, because now the hype's gone. Just like the other brother who spoke out on the BET, Jesse Brown, I think that's his name. And because the hype gonna die down. And then what? Then what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody ain't down like they pretend to be, bro. And I remember I went through situations like this even when I was incarcerated. When we was working in the field, and it's another form of slavery. We wasn't getting paid. We working out them hot fields, but they didn't want to let us get, commissary, which is a privilege. But so everybody decided, hey, we call it laying down. That's the language we use. Hey, we're not going to work till y'all give us, these privileges. And we just didn't go to work. And they put us on lockdown and everything. We locked up anyway, so we didn't care.
Yeah.
We helped each other out. But guess what? They met our demands. We suffered a little bit, but it was for a bigger cause. So, again, people learn how to sacrifice for now, for the bigger cause, just like doing the civil rights, slavery. We seen Nat Turner. That man knew he was going to die, bro. He knew they was going to get him eventually, but he was making a statement for other people to come. I'll die standing on my feet than die in this abuse.
Yeah, so, you broke up a little bit, but I heard the majority of it. Hello. Traveling through a tunnel. No, I did not.
Wise,
you just broke up, man. You
Even
was in
if
a tunnel.
You disagree, you shouldn't just knock them.
See, man, you was in a tunnel, brother. I ain't hear all that. I ain't hear all that, man. You probably said something very profound, but the audience did not hear it because you were traveling through a tunnel or something. All I heard was
I said, if you don't stand for, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
This is true.
Yeah, you'll stand for something. Somebody got to sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean,
for the
there has to be. There has to be sacrifices. I mean, there has to be people that's willing to make that stand. But you know what I find funny is that we live in a day and time, and I mean, it's been happening, I guess, for years and years, is that you have to fight and beg and ask and plead for what's right, to be treated like a decent human being. You have to ask somebody to do that. Now, if I have to ask and beg and plead with you to treat me like a decent human being, and you decide to start treating me decent, are you doing it because you had a change of heart, or because you've been told to do this?